Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Peteman Reviews. Today we have the Transformers Universe release of Cyclonus. As you can see, this actually comes with the Target Master variant with Nightstick as well. I've chosen to do the Universe release of Cyclonus. Indeed, this is the only version of Cyclonus I own, because while the jet mode is passable, the robot mode is brilliant. It really captures the way Cyclonus looked in the G1 fiction. So, in terms of plane mode, it's quite good in that it comes with a slot for Nightstick to be mounted. It also has fold-away front and rear landing gear, which is quite nice to see as well. If I just unplug Nightstick for a second, you get an idea of the plane in better mode. So it's got the windows here, which are fairly reminiscent of the original G1 version. It's got the nose cone, and it's got the swept wings design on that. It looks okay. It kind of, particularly around the back, it looks a little bit bulky, a little bit cutted together, and underneath that's only accentuated as well. So it's certainly not the best plane mode I've seen of Cyclonus. Indeed, I think the original G1 release is probably the best version of the plane that you can get, so the alt mode. This version, it's okay, it just feels a bit broken up and not particularly cohesive. It makes up for it in the robot mode though. We'll just focus on Nightstick for the moment. Obviously he comes as the gun, but he is able to transform as you would expect. It's a far more articulate Nightstick than the original release. He's got both arms, he's got elbows, he can move his feet around. He doesn't have knees, but in many ways, in some respects, Nightstick is more articulate than some of the original G1 Transformers. Yes, I am thinking of Power Master Prime here. So it's quite a good level of articulation, and it looks pretty good as well. Nice detail in there, see the different coloured visor and everything too. And of course he retains the gun as well. So that's Nightstick. Okay, so now we come on to the main event, which is Cyclonus himself. So let's begin by flipping up the landing gear. And we're also just going to pop the nose cone in as well. It's got a little little peg here that you can just pull out or in as need be. So we'll start off by doing the feet. Pop this down, pop that down. We're now going to disconnect the wings. So you can see how this connects here. It just pops out like that. Same on that side. By doing so, this enables us to get the rear part of the legs down as well. Like so. Now we're just going to move the actual feet up here and here again, get them out of the way, and then these do snap together. I think you can even hear them snap. So same on this side, and that produces the feet like so. Okay, so let's do the arms. So these flip up. You see there's a little tab here, that's what we're aiming for. So you need to rotate this up, and you can see there's the little hole the tab goes in, and it clicks into place, and that produces, it's part of the shoulders effectively, but it also forms part of the chest. Now the wings do detach. If this pops out again, that's fine. They do detach, and they just flip back and out of the way. So we'll do the same on this side. So it unpops and it folds away and rotates like that. Arms, just the hands pop out like that, and then you can just move the arms up, and they do pull out as well, so things like that, and they pull out to give the elbow. Same deal here, rotate like that, and then that pulls out to produce the arms. Finally the head. So this whole rear part here comes apart, and then this slots in, rotates back there, and then it slots back in, and you rotate the head round to have Cyclonus. And there we are. That is the robot version of Cyclonus. So we'll just do some zooming in here. As you can see, it looks great, particularly if you get some light in the background to give the glowing eyes. It looks like Cyclonus. I'm pretty sure I was going to say I thought the arms moved down, but they don't. They are that high. But it looks great, doesn't it? It looks so good. I think the head modelling in particular really works well, and that's perhaps what let the original Cyclonus down so much. Was the head, particularly the horns, just looked rubbish. The Universe version really does show the head done well, and the rest of the robot as well. It looks right. It feels everything feels the right side. True to the little wings on the feet, the manoeuvrability. It just works so good. Now he doesn't have a waist, so there's no waist movement there, but you do get good movement with the legs. These do rotate. Not going to be a lot good for rotating, but they do have a fairly bit pointless rotation to them. You do have a little bit of movement there, but it's just going to destabilise to move the feet. Arms then go up. Because you've got the elbow, you've got manoeuvrability there as well, and because the head turns in the transformation, you have some turning for that too. Somewhat curiously, Cyclonus only can hold his transformer in that's a nightstick, in his right hand. The left is solid. So, whereas most transformers appear to be ambidextrous, Cyclonus does not. So, I'll just chuck nightstick on the floor, and then I will transform him into the gun again. So, just flip the head bit round there. You've got these little parts here. Flip, flip, back around like so to form the top part of the gun, and then the arms just have like that. So that forms the gun, and then that fits nicely in there to give you Cyclonus. Excellent figure. Okay, when he falls over, then he's not quite as good. The reason he sometimes falls over is because the gun is a little bit top heavy, so you do just need to do a little bit of balancing, as I clearly didn't before. Okay, so that's Cyclonus. So we'll compare him next to Scourge, who we transformed for the previous episode. I think this is the Generation Edition of Scourge. As you can see, they're of a very similar height, Cyclonus being a bit taller. You would expect that. Cyclonus was always shown as being the second in command, and Scourge probably the third in command, although sometimes it's Soundwave that was. Certainly Cyclonus comes as the bigger of the two, and that feels about right. Just going to put Scourge off to one side there, and then finally the leader, Galvatron. Again, this is this is the Unique Toys variant of Galvatron, mainly a king. However, it goes so well with these guys. It feels like it should almost be an official G1 mould. I know it's not, but it really works so well with it. So collectively, those three, none of them are the original G1s, and Galvatron, mainly king, isn't even an official transformer, yet all three have brilliant robot modes. They really capture the cartoon and the comics. Alt modes, Cyclonus' alt mode is passable. It's a good alt mode, don't get me wrong, in fact it's a good plane. It just feels very broken up and blocky. Galvatron's probably got the best alt mode, but it complicates to transform. Scourge is a little bit complex to transform. Cyclonus is pretty simple to transform. It's just unfortunate that the alt mode is not particularly streamlined. It's very chunky, whereas the G1 Cyclonus had a brilliant alt mode. And a rubbish robot mode. This one has a really good robot mode, and it's an okay alt mode. It's not a bad alt mode by any means. It's just a little bit, I don't know, let's say blocky, unjoined up. So if we just take these other guys away and just put the focus back on Cyclonus. If you can get hold of him, bearing in mind this guy came out, I think it was around 2008, so 8 years already has passed since his release. Definitely pick him up. I think it's probably the best version of Cyclonus out there. I know they've re-released other versions since then, but realistically the other versions have all been re-decos, mainly of Silverbolt, which isn't right. Cyclonus should be his own mould, because he's nothing like Silverbolt. He's a much thinner character. And the plane, again, at least this guy the plane is a very clear attempt at being Cyclonus and not somebody else that's been redecoed. So I'd say for me, this is the best version of him. I think the robot mode is by far the best version robot mode out there. If you had the money and you wanted to have one version in robot mode, you get this version, and another version in play mode, I get the G1 version, as that is the best play mode for him. They are going to release a platinum version of this, which will be somewhat translucent colours to evoke the transformation, which is fine, but of course if you then want a solid one, you still need to get this one again. So yeah, it's a great robot. Get hold of it if you can do, and it looks really good next to Scourge and Galvatron as well. Thank you very much for watching. Please leave comments, click on subscribe, and click on some other videos, and we'll see you for the next review. Thank you. Goodbye.